difficult right now to find people that you can marry for love because there's a lot of expectations that people have. People expect that the man that I need to marry needs to have his own life together. He needs to have a couple of cars. One is just never enough nowadays. He needs to do X and X and X. It's just a lot of expectations. Even the men have expectations for women. It's very important that people marry for love. Aki guys, don't follow things because we've seen what following things bring. Marry for love, understand the sanctity and the beauty of marriage as God, desired it to be. I think it's very important for every single person, be in a relationship or not, to always strive to become and do better.
Exactly.
It's always important,
I wish you could shout
Now, more so now when you're in a relationship, it's very important to not just, wait on the other person or find yourself in that person. It's always good to learn and grow, as individuals and when you come together. We want the benefits of God without the sacrifice of being in the Lord.
Wow.
So we want him to bless us with a car. We want him to give us whatever. Sasa wewe mwenyewe umesema wewe huwezi fanya kazi mingi na msee afanyi kazi yake. Exactly. So why do we expect the Lord to give us all these things? I want a big house, big car, but you're doing the bare minimum. Christians, we need to rise and do our job.
It is not a trivial matter to find yourself in a position or situation of having missed one of the biggest shows we have about mental health and real life situation. Welcome to Iconic Space. My name is MC Pops, and I'm here with one of the biggest media personalities. She's very pretty. She loves life. If you follow her closely, she loves fashion. She loves good places. She loves food. She loves lots of things, but I cannot be able to define her for you because she's already here. So, Tracy, take this chance to introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Tracy Wanjiru, and one thing that you forgot is that I love the Lord. He is my Lord and Savior.
Okay.
And yes, I think that's the only love that you didn't add. But every other thing, yeah, spot on. I am a media personality. I have been in the industry for 9 years. And thinking about it, I'm just like, I think I'm going to 10 years. I'm just like, time really flies. And then you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, I've done so much. But sometimes it doesn't feel like you've done so much. But yes, 9 years in the industry. And I will say I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still changing. And I am a mother. I am a lover of life and all good things. Yes.
So for how long have you been a mother?
I've been a mother for 3 years and 9 months.
Wow.
3 years and 9 months.
So how's the experience? Let's start from there.
It's been tough.
Okay.
But it's been one of the most transformative and fulfilling journeys that I've been on. Like nothing has quickly changed me like motherhood.
Okay. So how I need you to explain to the people, like, how do you put tough and still manage to put something nice in the same sentence with tough? Like,
by the way, so one thing about parenting, a lot of things will be mutually not inclusive. You'll feel all these things at the same time.
So it's like allowing yourself to feel all the feelings.
Exactly. I mean, you will love this child, but at the same time be extremely upset at the same time, So that's just the duality about parenting. You'll feel a lot of things. You'll go through a lot of things at the same time,
Like you're annoying, but you're so cute.
But you're so cute and I love you so much. You're the best. It's like I want you to go to sleep right now. But you know what? I love you so much. I don't know if you've gone through this. It's like you put them to sleep and then you start looking at their pictures. You're like, oh my God, my baby is so amazing. Lakini akijaribu hata kufanya hivi mguu. You're like, Rudy bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's that duality. It is tough. It is still amazing.
Okay.
It is still fulfilling. It's still transformative. It's still challenging. It's all those things sometimes at the same time in the same hour. So, yeah.
Okay. So before we start the show, because this is just the introduction, people trying to know who Tracy is. Tell us something about you that people don't know.
Yeah. What don't people know about me? Wow. That's a very interesting question because I actually don't self-reflect a lot. What do people know about me? That I'm a good cook.
Ah, you cook.
I cook. I can cook up a lot of things. Huh? My
Mm-hmm.
favorite being ugali and skuma
Ah,
and nyama. Hey,
Waluya yo.
yeah.
Amesema sembe. Tuko sawa.
You know what? I didn't think I would love ugali, but the way I love ugali now,
What made you love ugali?
I don't know. It's the simplicity of it, and it's just how it pairs so well with the vegetables. It's like you can't beat that.
Oh. Hakuna
I,
mse ashaongelea sembe fit hiyo design. Like sijui toka tuna replay hiyo part 2 ya sembe kwa ads ama.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just pairs so well with beef, with your vegetables, even with maziwa. You guys,
Like, yo.
what else? Yeah. So I would say I'm a good cook. I'm a great driver too.
Ah, you drive a lot?
Yeah, I love driving. I
Okay.
love driving.
When you're on cool
I'm
down.
I'm the type of person who's just going to get in the car and just drive to Naivasha just for the sake of just listening to my thoughts and listening to music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a love of music
Oh,
also.
I love music.
Which kind of music?
Now I love gospel music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
I loved reggae.
Mm.
Kwanza dancehall.
Yo,
My God, mtu asijaribu
please.
kucheza hiyo kitu hapa kwa sababu utanirudisha kwenye shida eh.
Let me tell you one thing. I didn't expect you to love reggae.
You know what? As much as, my life has changed and, my walk is much different, I will say that the other day I was asking myself, I'm turning 30 very soon. So I'm like, I've always wanted to go to Jamaica. That has always been on my bucket list. I mean, back then I wanted to go
Now
to Jamaica.
this is what I was asking. Like, what is the one thing that people don't know about Tracy?
Back in the day, the reason why I wanted to go to Jamaica was because, I wanted to bust a wine. I wanted to, smoke a good
Okay.
doobie or something.
Yeah.
But I was asking myself now, I'm like, okay, now I'm changed and I'm not doing those things. Can I still go to Jamaica? And I was like, yeah, I could still
Yes,
go
go
to
to
Jamaica
Jamaica.
and still, tick it off my bucket list. I'm sure there's more wholesome things, other things to do other than what I wanted to do in Jamaica.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I will still make it to Jamaica.
So zile vitu zingine ulikuwa lazima kwa checklist umezitoa. You rubbed all
Nimezitoa
of
kwa
them.
sababu zilikuwa tu tabia mbaya. Yeah.
So it's also allowed for you to feel what you're feeling and have
and change.
and
And
change at
that's
the same
the
time.
thing about I feel like my growth, and anyone who's seen my journey, I've grown a lot, and I'm continuing to grow.
Yeah. I think the people who followed you from Kitambo,
Yeah.
even how you used to host, you started, and then now you're
Very mellow,
calm,
very
collected.
calm. Exactly.
Understand. So maybe kuna mtu alikuwa anakufuata kitambo alikuwa expect so now the bub.
Yes.
I understand. But
yes.
now this
You
calm,
change. I
collected.
feel like a lot of things
Is this
about
because of motherhood or just because you've grown in the industry?
I believe
or-
it's a lot of also just accepting the person that I am. I think I've just always been a very calm person.
You just
But
didn't know.
in the beginning, when you start your career, you think, maybe I ought to be as loud as the other
Loud.
person. Maybe I ought to be as outrageous and as, crazy as the other person. But I feel like over the years, I've come to love the person that I am, the quiet spirit that I am, the gentleness that I have, the I'm not the loudest person in the room, to be honest with you. Yeah. So
How do you
I've come
think
to
that
I've,
has
I've come
really
to
helped
accept
you?
that. How has that helped me? I feel like it's helped me avoid a lot of unnecessary attention.
Okay.
It's also helped me avoid being in situations that I should not be in. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like those are the two things that I can think
For me,
about right now.
I feel like
Sorry.
it's okay. I feel like if you find women who are able to control their mouths, would really have safe spaces for a lot of people, because the only people who can be able to control situations are women in relationships, in workspaces
Yeah.
because they carry a lot.
No, we are. And if you look even at the making of the woman, through God's creation, we're meant to be that help. Help situations become better. And how do you help situations become better? By just you being the woman that you are. I feel like, especially in the corporate space and the working space everywhere, we really feel, and I felt that pressure. I felt the need to sort of like tone down my femininity just so that I could, be as alpha as the dude, you know. But it ought not to be like that.
Yeah.
You in your quietness and in your gentleness and in your nurturingness, if there's a word like that, you could help a
We
lot of
just created a word
situations.
right now.
Yeah, you could help a lot of
Congratulations.
situations. Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh. So let's start because we can go on and on even without starting the show because
Imagine.
you're so used to this space. I'm also so used to this space. So we can just have a normal conversation and
Yeah,
actually have a whole show.
yeah.
So let's try and direct the show. So the main interview, I think our topic is beauty in the industry and mental health.
Yes.
You understand? So our first question is, as a woman in entertainment, when did you first realize that being pretty could be both a blessing and a burden?
Wow. I feel like I learned this very early on in my career.
Okay.
Very early
Ulipewa
on.
Mokenya kitambo
Ah,
sana.
yeah. It's like these guys didn't even wait for me to just settle, but it was almost immediate. I remember just getting comments like, Tracy slept her way up.
Yeah,
Tracy,
people.
yeah, Tracy got the job because of how she looks. She's light skinned, that's
And
how
she's
she,
pretty.
that she's pretty. That's how she got the job. And back then,
We were those people.
or you guys were those
We were
people. Oh
those
my
people.
God,
Then,
you guys mushindwe kabisa. But
you spiritualisha.
but
When you're
you
in, you
come to
know.
realize that then it really bothered me. It really bothered me because I just didn't understand how people would think that. Because I went through the processes that needed for me to get the job. You know what I mean? At that time, because I started, for anyone who doesn't know, I started off as my career in this industry as the co-host for Tin Republic. Tin Republic was then the biggest teen show in Kenya.
True.
Now, before I got that job, I was working very different jobs, very, I would say, odd jobs, because I was, doing bottle service in clubs. If there were
Whoa.
gigs, like for example, I don't know if I can mention, but there's this live alcoholic drink that they do this concerts every once a year. So anytime like a concert like that would happen, I would be a bottle girl, just taking
Oh, yeah.
around things, whatever it is. If it's the Joam coffee, for example, just, taking around. Now, when I met now my then co-host, Martin Kimathi,
Yeah.
I was doing a
Good
gig
friend of
as
mine, yeah.
well. I was doing a gig. And he was just like, oh yeah, by the way, because we were a lot of girls. And he was like, oh, by the way, NTV are looking for a co-host for me. Why don't you girls come in,
Try out.
try out? And we're all broke. We don't have jobs.
But
We're like,
yes, really
yeah,
calm. Yeah.
tunakuja.
Yeah.
So we went for the auditions. I mean, we all had the same chances. We all were presented the same plate. You know what I mean? So we went, did the auditions, and 3 months later, by that time, nilikuwa nimeshasahau. When you're broke and you're just trying to get
Yeah.
some money, you forget quickly because you're just trying to chase. So 3 months later, I don't remember that I even did an audition. So I'm at a gig and I'm doing one of those bottle service things. And I get a call and I'm like, hey. And the dude is like, hey, this is Anto. I'm calling you to let you know that you got the job for Tin Republic. I'm like, what job? I mean, how? And I mean, of course, he's like, yeah, the Tin Republic. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I did an audition. And I'm like, oh, wow, thank you. I didn't even know how to process it at that time because I was just like, I got it. I got the job. You know, it just didn't make sense to me. But now, you know, after a while, people told me that they loved how natural I was.
Yeah, you are.
You know, I didn't pretend in the audition to sound
Like
like
someone
the other
else.
person.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that the producer then said was, you made a mistake on air when we were doing the audition. And instead of being like, "Ugh," you literally just jumped and laughed and ran with it, you know? And that's not something I was taught. You know, that's just who I am. You know, I'll
It's
quickly
your
just get
personality. That's just
exactly.
who you are. Yeah.
So when you hear comments like that, like, you know, she slept her way up or she did what, it's really disheartening because it almost feels like it disqualifies all the things that you've done to get there, you
Okay.
know? So yeah, I've heard that a lot and I still get that, unfortunately. You know, I still get that. Even now with my TV show, oh yeah, they got her because she's pretty. Okay, yeah, I am. And so what?
What do we do about it?
Yeah, there's
I
nothing
am.
we can do. Yes, you know, and I'm pretty and I can deliver. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what a package. Look at
So
that. Look at that. Ah, yeah, yeah, what, why? So,
why not?
exactly. I mean, back then it didn't hit me like that. Back then it was more of, oh my
But I think
gosh.
people project the
Yeah,
insecurities. You
exactly. And
understand?
that's the thing. People
Yeah.
project a lot of their arrogance, insecurity, jealousy, which can adversely affect you if you're not confident in who you are. And then I wasn't. Then those comments really put me down, you know? And I would do very many things to try and prove to people that I'm not doing that, guys. I'm not sleeping around. Guys, I'm just pretty, but I'm not trying to be pretty. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You sort of like
It's
try
just
to
me. That's who
prove
I am.
exactly. So you're, you know, you walk into a room and you're not trying to be the prettiest because you're just like people will pick on you, you know? So yeah, I still get it. It's just that now I'm just like, bruh, you can't
You're
tell me
thick-skinned.
nothing, bruh. Like you
Yeah.
can't tell me nothing.
Shida yako kama you don't believe in
Yeah,
yourself, mambo
I'm
yako hiyo usiniingize.
beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made by the Lord, and He made me like this, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm
And
just,
that's a plus in your
and it,
life.
yeah, exactly. It just happens that I'm also very smart. I'm also very street smart. I'm also very, all those other things that I am. I'm all those things, and guess what? That's the package that I come in. So
Take it or leave it.
take it or leave it. Exactly.
Okay. We have normally we have a game that we call truth. We call truth or trick.
Okay.
Understand? So you get to pick one of the two,
Okay.
and then I can ask you a question.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll just pick the one that's closest to me. Okay.
what does he say?
It says truth.
So show it to the camera there. Yes, it's truth. So tell us the first moment you ever experienced true love and you just felt like, yo, I just feel love. This is love.
Wow. The first time that I ever felt true love. I will say, I wouldn't say that I remember the exact moment, but being with my little one, really, really, there's a time I remember in because I solo parented for a long time
Okay.
because my partner is all over the world. I'm doing some incredible things. So I solo parented. And even now I'm still solo parenting. Na watu kuna difference between single parenting na solo parenting, okay? So
Watu wasianze kuleta
watu
mambo mingi.
wasianze. But I remember one time, I believe we were in the living room and I believe she ran up to me and told me something or hugged me. But I will say in those moments of parenting, I've felt a lot of love, true love, you know,
Yeah, something you can't explain.
something that I cannot explain. Yeah,
Okay.
I will say,
That I think that makes women the strongest people in the world because the person who's made you feel the most pain is the person that you end up loving the most.
the most, yeah, because it is hard, yeah.
For men, I cannot speak for the men because if I feel that pain, I'm not going back into that space anymore, because I don't understand how you guys do it. When you go, you are like a mad woman, and like you people, you don't understand, and you don't understand, and I just feel like yelling, and then after that, you're this calm person holding this
Yeah.
tiny human, and the voice is down, and you just feel like, okay, this is mine, and don't look at her like that, don't touch. I'm like, how do you go from here to there?
It's just our makeup, it's just how, for example, there are just a lot of things that men do that are really inspiring and really, like even this morning, I was just telling my partner, I just don't know how you do what you do. It's very inspiring, but I cannot be
People should
that.
hear this. People don't tell their partners this.
I cannot be that. You know what I mean? I cannot do what he's doing. I don't even want to do what he's doing, by the way. You know what I mean? Haiwezi. And then for me, I'm sure there's just a lot of things that, he also looks at and he's like, oh. I mean, even the other day, like my mother-in-law was just like, Tracy, like, how do you do what you do? Being able to just really be present as a mother, and just go through it solo parenting, and it's just in our makeup. It's just what it is. You guys are just the way you are, and there's just some things in us also that just make us who we are. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, who's your favorite old school Kenyan artist?
Who's my favorite old school Kenyan artist? I really dig Red Sun.
Red Sun.
Yeah.
2 lines of his song that you love the most.
Hmm.
The reggae girl.
Hey, a lot of songs I've just
Chagua.
Imagine, why is the song Who is a Chicken now just in my head now? And this song is just going to be
You,
in my head.
there's something about you and ugali and chicken.
And
Yo,
chicken.
waluya, man.
Hey, inaonekana nilikuwa nafaa kutoka hizo sides.
Manze.
Yeah, but Who is a Chicken now?
Yeah, you have to give us 2 lines, yeah. That's the
See,
fun part of the show.
Who is a Chicken now?
Yeah, you have to sing
And
the part.
See,
Yeah.
nimeimba yote.
You have to sing the part.
Oh my
Sing the
goodness. I'm
part.
just wondering how, but I love Red Sun because of how private he's been able to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Red Sun, by the way, he's just been so private. Even for the longest time, I thought he was Jamaican. That's how private this guy is.
Okay.
But also because when I was still young, when I started listening to Red Sun, so for me, I was just like, hey, this guy can't be Kenyan. The way he imbas his songs, he cannot be Kenyan. Yeah, but I would say I really admire Red Sun's ability to just stay private and still relevant. Who else do I really, really like? You said old school artists.
Yeah.
I like Nameless.
Okay.
His humility, because I have interviewed him. I've been in spaces where he's been, and he's a very, very humble guy.
As a person who interviews people?
Yes. He's very, very humble, and I love that. I love that. Yeah. So those 2.
Mm-hmm. Current. In the
Imagine,
Gengeton era.
I don't listen to. Do you know what, guys? I don't. I'm not even trying to. And for me to say that as a person who really loved music, yani I knew what's hot and what's hotter,
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't know.
Do you feel like they're missing out?
I don't. However, I do learn some songs through Instagram reels. Like you'll go one reel unasikia hiyo ngoma ndio imetumiwa na watu ka 1 million. You know what I mean? So that song kind of like ni kama unaijua but really hujui. So even now, maybe you can tell me what are the current songs? Mi sijui. What was the last song that I probably...
I don't know any reggae song. I could have told you any reggae song because you're a reggae fan.
Oh, yeah, me.
Understand, yeah.
Even my mom nowadays is just like, hey, Tracy, oh my gosh, ew.
What happened?
Brother, ew. She's just like, okay, like what world? Like, I learned Rigiji's name. His nini is what? His AKA? Anaitangwa?
AKA Rikiji.
Rigiji, but kuna ingine.
Gashagwa.
Kuna kajina kengine, my mom told me. Huh? One time.
One time.
Si
Ah,
one
si
time.
one time. One
Kuna
time
ingine.
yeah.
Kuna ingine mamangu aliniambia juzi. I'm just like, guy, no, sure. But yeah, I'll remember. But yeah, I'm honestly really in my own bubble, kind of. Yeah. So I don't have a favorite artist right now.
Okay, okay. We should look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As we continue, there's one thing I needed to ask about you as a person. Understand? What do you think about music as a whole? Do you think music can change how you think, can change how you act? What do you,
Yeah.
how powerful is music to you?
Music is very powerful. And you can tell that music is powerful because you could be very low and listen to a song and immediately your mood's uplifted, you know? And that's how you realize, you know what, music is actually a really strong instrument, you know? For example, you could, even another thing is that you could listen to music and start thinking about doing things that are probably very lustful. You know, you'd probably listen to a Chris Brown song and
And
you're
then
just
you're
like,
like,
yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, I
yeah.
can get into some stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I can do stuff.
I can do stuff. So music is very powerful, and I think it's very important for us to understand that a lot of the things aren't just surface level, just what you think it is. There's a lot of there's a lot of there's a lot about music that most people don't even understand. Even myself, I feel like I'm still learning a lot about music. There's a lot about frequencies. I mean, I don't know if it's myth, but I don't believe it's myth. But in all some mythologies talk about how some certain frequencies from bells could get demons to like go away. You know what I mean? So when you hear about music frequency, or for example, you've seen those YouTube videos that he listen to this frequency and it's going to just put you to sleep.
Yeah,
You know what I
like I was
mean?
like,
It's like, yeah. So
it
I
even
used
freaks you out. Like,
exactly. So it can't just be music. There's just something about music that we need to be very cautious about.
and careful
Another thing,
about.
have you heard about sound healing? So, for example, it's like a form of wellness or mental wellness that people will be in a room like this, and the instructor will have like a sort of like a bowl, and then atachukua kakijiti, and then anagonga, and then it sort of like creates some frequency, and it's said that it causes some healing effects.
Wow.
So it's not just music. There's a lot about frequency, and the frequency is what drives the music. So that's why you'll end up feeling like you want to bust a
So
wine,
that's
like
what
me. That's why
we
I wanted to go to
consume.
Jamaica. I just wanted to shake that thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, music does play a really important role.
I wish I met that Tracy, but it's
Hey,
okay.
that Tracy is
Jamaica is
long
gone.
gone. I don't know if we're going to still sing Smile Jamaica when I get there. Ooh, I met a girl this morning. She was beauty in my eyes. I guess. I don't
Yeah.
remember the lyrics.
Love at first sight.
Oh, she was
Beauty,
love at first
and
sight.
then beauty to my eyes.
Beauty to
Yeah.
my
I
eyes.
also listen to a bit of reggae, so yeah,
Yeah.
not that bad. So, what's the emotional toll of always having to look the part or be the Instagram ready girl, even when you're not mentally
Ready.
prepared?
You know what? I feel like that's one thing that I did not really struggle with
Ah, okay.
because I was just okay with how I was. Sometimes to my detriment, because I'll send you a clip and maybe you can even, show it when we,
Okay,
here. I went for an interview, guys, and if you saw what I was wearing, I just put my hair back, wore the weirdest jumper that I could have worn, a t-shirt, you know what I mean? But that's how I'm only giving this example to say that for me, I've never felt the pressure to perform or look
Okay.
a certain way. Like if this trend is happening, I need to look like that. I've never felt that pressure, which is great. But sometimes, like I said, to my detriment, because I could also go out in places and look a bit crazy. I remember my mom was like, Tracy, you're Tracy. You shouldn't be going to places looking the way you look. Because me, imagine, I will go somewhere with my pajamas.
Na uko tu
Na
sawa.
niko tu sawa. Imagine by then
Na
niko
uko
tu
mahali
sawa.
Vasha na uko tu sawa.
Niko tu sawa. Nitatoka na Crocs, na nitoke na hoodie, na nini, na mi niko tu sawa. Na nitaenda wherever I need to go, by the way. I won't feel anything. But I think it's also understanding that some places require you to look a certain kind of way.
That's good for the people who really are getting into the game, because sometimes they really try to judge how you look, how you came.
Yes. And if you're, getting in the industry, looking good is part of it. I completely agree and I understand. However, do not pressure yourself to look a certain way that you're probably not comfortable with.
Or even you can't afford.
Yes, or you can't even afford, So if you do not like makeup, like myself, I don't like makeup. If it was up to me, I would never wear makeup. Okay. But I understand that, there's a certain way you need to look in front of the camera. So what I've learned how to not put too much makeup. Like the cake face, you put a lot of foundation, a lot of concealer. Yeah. A lot of eyeshadow.
But you have people who do that every day.
Exactly. So if you're like me who doesn't like a lot of makeup, learn how to do very minimal makeup. But if you're a person who loves makeup, because there are people who do love makeup, do it. Learn how to really do that. If you don't love wearing dresses, then learn how pants can look cool, look sexy, whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah. Find what's comfortable for you and do the best that you can. And also knowing the spaces that you're in. Don't go for interviews or don't go to places just bleh. Show up and stand out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's something I also had to learn, because for me, because of not even understanding that pressure, mi ningeenda mahali na nikae tu venye najisikia. But I also came to learn that some places require you to show up. Me sitting here with you, perhaps I just can't come looking, let me come looking nice,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I appreciate that. Taking your time to do the makeup that you
don't
like
look
doing.
Good. Yeah. You know what I
Nasikia
mean?
fiti, acha niringe. Understand? There's this part. Someone asked me on the socials, if you're interviewing Tracy, make sure ameongea sheng 3 sentences.
Mi unajua by the way,
Mbona watu wanaona ni kama huwezi bonga sheng?
let me tell you, and I get that a lot kwa barabara. Ama niende kwa soko. Acha usinipate soko. Mtu asikie nimesema hizi ni pesa ngapi? Niuliza hata na Kikuyu.
Allah.
Already ya besha shiga na.
Uh-huh.
They're just like, my goodness.
Yo.
We si mzungu? I'm like, and I guess it's because I was born like this. I don't see the big deal and I don't understand what wanaona mimi ni mzungu wapi. Okay, for me, honestly, I'm just like, naka mzungu. Naka mzungu. Like, if you didn't know me, naka mzungu.
Wacha nikwambie, the first time I saw you, even before ni follow up what you do and stuff, I was like, I'm pretty sure this lady can't speak Swahili. I'm sure maybe she grew up somewhere outside Kenya. I'm sure, you understand? Because also packaging, the way you package yourself, the way we saw what you packaged on your Instagram and all that, like, wow. I was even shocked that at you joined TikTok. Juicy, I was like, you're the first people who are supposed to be on TikTok. I'm like, you just said, at now, finally I'm on TikTok. I'm like, were you not on TikTok?
I was not on TikTok, imagine. But I think also my upbringing, I grew up like every other Kenyan. You know what I mean? So my experience is very Kenyan. You know what I mean? My mother raised me up speaking to me in Kikuyu and Kiswahili. You know, tulikuwa tu tunaongea sheng. I grew up in Zima. So like
Amko mnajua hiyo?
Yeah, I grew up in Zima. And now the largest part of my life I grew up in Jamhuri. Who are you finding in those places?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a very solid Kenyan experience. So when I hear people say, "Hey, uni mzungu," I'm like, "Unasema?" Like, I'm very, very Kenyan to the core. You know what I mean?
Kama
So
unataka
yeah,
kuitisha ini
you
na
know.
Kikuyu
Even
ni
sometimes when people
ukweli.
see me in the soko, nikibagain.
They're like,
But then my mom is usually like, "Hey, mi siendi soko na juu mi najua yeye ni Mkenya, but hao watu
oh,
wengine sasa watanitoanisha."
so
Yeah.
I can't go
So
with
I
you,
can't go with
utachoma.
you. I can't
Ama ukae huko kwa
unachoma.
gari.
We unachoma, we kaa kwa gari. Usitoke. Utames bei. But yeah. I guess it's a packaging.
Yeah, it's packaging, and I love the fact that you don't feel like you have to follow any peer pressure of I have to be on TikTok today. Like you just felt like okay, today watch any
Yeah.
TikTok because it was there. Your
Yeah.
friends are there. They do reels. They do whatever. You're in the
Yeah.
entertainment space, but you didn't feel the pressure of just starting TikTok now because nataka hizo
Yeah.
numbers, nataka hizo.
I remember in I think it was 2016 or 2017. 2016. Yes, it was 2016. Yeah. I would say 2016 or 2015. Hapana. I think, anyway, I'll remember. One of those 2016s to 2018. Now, we had just gone, a couple of us from Nairobi had gone to Uganda for the Brian Style and Fashion Awards in Uganda. And if you know anything about the ASFAs, they're one of the biggest fashion awards in Africa. To see the way that they do the ASFAs, you have to be there to know how big of a deal it is. Okay. Because people from all over the world come. And you can see just how much time and magnitude of greatness they just put in the show. So we were a couple of us. We went to Uganda because we had been nominated for a couple of awards, and I was nominated for Best Dressed Media Personality in Africa.
Ule mtu wa hudi tu kwa mtaani hataki
Imagine,
ufala.
imagine.
Madhaki amemwambia
Hata
usivai hizo
nilishangaa
vitu
nikasema ni
tena.
mimi but you know, I guess again going back to the packaging. So one of the thing, and it's now going back to the peer pressure thing that you just mentioned. After a night out, because of course after the awards lazima mwende after party, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Exactly,
understand.
you know.
Huyu mrasta, hiyo alikuwa
You know what I
ilikuwa
mean?
enzi yake.
Yeah. You just gotta be in that club mpaka asubuhi. But I remember
Before you continue with that one, sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
How did you manage to be, because people think like mdema in the nightclub, huyo hawezi kuwa wife material, you're like, people need to understand that sometimes you just go to blow off some steam. You don't have
but then
any
also, you know, when
other
you're
agenda.
young, really,
Okay.
you just want to have fun.
Okay.
And a lot of the fun just seems like it's in the club.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, but for me, after high school, I just wanted to be in that club culture. I loved seeing people just go out, dance. Exactly. Again,
I can
music,
imagine you there.
because of the music. I mean, of course. So, I mean, don't stereotype, but then also nasikia sahi soko imeharibika.
Evidently.
So sijui venye mnapatana kwa hizi
Itakuwa
vilabu, mnapatanaje?
Ukipata msee huko unapiga kona juu ni kudedli.
Ni kudedli.
Yeah, because right now we don't have kama enzi yetu ile, like people just go outside in the club to just have fun. Right now,
It's different.
ladies have different agendas.
Exactly.
And
I need to find my next car. I mean, I heard about the story about Burna Boy. There's a babe that I think they slept together, and the babe was expecting to get a Lamborghini, and she didn't get the Lambo, and now she's in her fields and exposing Burna Boy, and Burna Boy also, I think, made a comment about that. But you see, people are out there to get a lot of different things. Us in our time, hey, you just want to go and dance, by the way.
Saya kuna hiyo alafu there's a notion that has come hata ndo kwa maana uko hapa pia, like what do we have relationships anymore? Do we let me put it this way, do we even marry for love anymore?
I don't know. Me, thank God nilitoka soko. Thank God. But we'll get to that. Let me just finish the pressure one.
Okay.
So I remember after that night out, it was me, Bridget Chigadi, and Nick Mutuma, and a couple of other people. And I remember Nick telling me something, and he was like, I like the fact that you're not the type of person that just follows the wind.
Okay.
And that was then. So I've never been, I mean, sometimes in some areas, I feel like, of course, every person will struggle trying to like follow what others are doing. But one thing about me, I'm not going to follow what everyone is doing. But they have always had that thing in me. I'm not going to do things just because everyone else is doing.
Saa zingine kichwa ngumu ni fiti. Unaona rege vile imekufanya?
Maze?
Saa zingine
Ni
kichwa
reggae?
ngumu ni fiti. Because now, at a young age, most people just follow the trend. Kunaendaje?
Yes.
Kunaendaje?
Yeah.
Kunaendaje?
I
Understand?
was not like that.
You?
I was not like that. And I thank God for that. I think he knew what he was doing because he's nurtured that trait in me until now. And he'll only continue to nurture it. So yes, now going back to your relationship question, yeah?
Yeah.
Do we have solid relationships anymore?
Not even solid. Like, do we
Do we
even
marry for love?
Do we even have
marry for...
relationships for love anymore? Because
I feel like
we've
yes.
redefined the whole
Yeah.
scene.
I think it's very difficult right now to find people that you can marry for love because there's a lot of expectations that people have.
Okay.
People expect that the man that I need to marry needs to have his own life together. He needs to have a couple of cars. One is just never enough nowadays. He needs to do X and X and X. It's just a lot of expectations. Even the men have expectations for women. I expect my woman to always look.
But I think it's only fair because women have set the bar there. So kama nishapata hizo vitu zote.
But you see, now that's the problem because if women have set the bar there, which is the bar is in hell,
Yeah,
Then-
inachomeka videdly.
then even the men are digging even deeper in hell. Sasa standards ziko wapi? Hakuna standards. So mnawana for nini? For nothing.
They're for nothing because now,
You know?
right now, in all honesty, for example, kama singekuwa ati I'm married and all that.
Yeah.
Ati nimetafuta pesa yangu because now every woman who has standards and all that does not want to have someone who wants to build up with someone. No one wants to
No
build
one
up
wants
with anyone.
that.
So you think you're just gonna come into my life? I have all those cars that you're talking about. I have the house that you dream. You just walk in and bring your clothes and we start living. No. Understand?
But you see, also, I also get some women who say, I've stuck around with this man and he left me for another babe who didn't see the struggle.
But I think
You
I
see
can help
that?
you answer that because women do not, but this what- this generation don't want to grow with a man. Number one, you have to understand that you also have to have a life. You cannot just come into my space. Yeah, we started together. When I'm doing something, also do something. You can just be there. You understand?
So it's co-creating, co-building.
Yes,
Okay.
build each other. You understand? Because if I continue looking finer, everything is going on. I'll find my type. If you don't want to grow with me,
Okay.
unapata.
Okay, I get that. I get the part of, you also need to pull up your socks as
Pull
well.
up my socks.
Yeah.
I
But-
come and meet Tracy, and then I was like, I really wanted a smart woman. My woman does not want to read anymore, does not want to do business anymore. She just wants to sit and wear a promotion T-shirt in the house. I can only do so much. So
I
just love
get that.
them,
I
but-
think it's very important for every single person, be in a relationship or not, to always strive to become and do better.
exactly.
It's always important,
I wish you could shout.
Now, more so now when you're in a relationship, it's very important to not just, wait on the other person or find yourself in that person. It's always good to learn and grow,
Yeah.
as individuals and when you come together. And that's one thing even for my partner. Like, if there's something that I said is that I would never limit him in whatever he wants to do, So he needs to become the best person that he wants and aims to be, because if he's his best version, he'll become the best for me and me vice versa. So it's very important that people marry for love. Aki, guys, don't follow things, because we've seen what following things bring, marry
sad
for
truth.
love, understand the sanctity and the beauty of marriage as God, desired it to be. It's a very beautiful thing, and it's something that requires a lot of patience, a lot of long suffering. Unajua watu wanasikianga long suffering wanasema Jehovah. What are you talking about long suffering?
Why
What
is even
is
suffering? Why is
why
suffering
is
in that
suffering
statement?
there? You know,
Yeah.
because I feel like also in this age and time, everything watu wataki kusuffer.
Yeah. Even in weddings right now,
If
they do better
anything,
for
if
better for better. They don't
anything,
do for
yeah,
us.
if anything requires suffering, hiyo ni ya shetani. Hiyo
Msiingize Mungu
si,
hapo.
hiyo si ya Mungu, you know?
But I,
But there's a lot that you learn from suffering.
yeah.
I believe it's in the book of, is it in James? No, I don't think it's in James. I think it's in, anyway, one of those letters from Paul. It talks about, know that in your suffering,
Mm-hmm.
you create perseverance. And from perseverance, you get character. And from character, you get hope, you know. So, whatever it is that you're going through, those sufferings, don't underestimate them because that's what builds your resilience, your perseverance. And that perseverance is what brings your character. And from all of that you've gone through, you have hope, you know. So I really love that Bible verse because it really shows that suffering is not a bad thing. It's not always
It's the
about.
process.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. Yeah.
Okay. What advice would you give a young woman trying to make it in the media entertainment without losing herself in the game? That's the most important part. Without losing herself
Themselves. Yeah.
in the game.
So one thing that I would recommend, and because now I've seen the mistakes that I've made and the things that I should have known. One of the things that I know now is that as a woman who's coming inside, who's coming to the industry, it's very important that you know your identity, and not getting your identity because of the things that you ought to do, but knowing your identity in Christ. One of the things that I did, this was in March, is just go through the Bible and go through a lot of Bible verses to really understand what does God say I am? Who does God say I am? Because you realize that a lot of us, we try to find our identity in what other people said. We tried
Okay.
to figure out, okay, I am X and X because I can do blah blah blah, you know. But there's also a beauty in just being you and being that child of God minus being this person who can do X and X and X because seasons change. Kuna siku moja utajipata uwezi fanya hizo vitu zenye ulikuwa unadhani unafanya,
Na
you
time
know.
itakuwa imeishia.
Yeah. So what happens when you can't do the things that people praised you for? Does that
Yeah.
mean you're less worthy? It doesn't. So it's very important that you find your identity in Christ. Another thing that I will say is that, right now, being in the industry all kind of like means that you have to be very sexy, provocative,
Overdo stuff.
overdo stuff. You don't have to do all that craziness. You don't have to show your body. You don't have to. I mean, don't
That's what
turn.
happens right now. a
Yeah,
lot.
don't turn your brand into clickbait, because what's going to happen is that you will be trying to bait people every other day. Jana ulionesha mguu. Paps akasema, God damn. Ooh,
Hizo miguu.
hizo thighs. The next thing you know, you're like, I got 600 comments because of my thigh.
Let me try and
Let's take it up the notch. Today nitaonesha whatever, So don't turn your brand into clickbait.
and then they wonder why corporates don't want to work with them.
And exactly. And then at the end of all of this, you end up feeling very, what was it for? What was it for? And
Now,
another
already
Bible-
you've already gotten the following, the wrong
Yes,
following.
you've gotten the wrong following who are asking you to do the wrong things. So you changing is going to be really hard for you,
Very, very hard.
And another Bible verse that I really loved is like Jesus was talking about what does it gain a man to gain the world but lose his soul, So you gain the world, the worldly things, the validation from the world, the likes, the comments, you say tuko yo eraya, likes, comments, whatever, following. So you've gotten all of that. What about you? What about your worth? And for women, your worth is your dignity.
True.
You know, let people not lie to you. Your value is in how much you've kept yourself, the respect, the honor that you carry, you know? The fact that you're not going to walk in a room and all three dudes are looking at each other like, hey, yeah, yeah, hata wewe, you know what I mean?
True.
There's a beauty in you walking there and people thinking, seeing, yeah, I can't mess with her.
Yeah.
And I love that
And there's
about,
power in that.
there's power in that.
Understand?
There's
Like,
power
I
in
know
that.
she's pretty, but
Yeah,
this
you're
is,
not going to play with her.
yeah, this is as far as I can
Exactly.
go. Yeah.
Because you don't want a career that's short-lived. And a lot of us are looking at our careers and our lives as very short-term things. We're looking at 5 years, and you're doing things that will, yes, in the 5 years look amazing, but what about 15 years from now? When you start having your kids, you know, when you start,
Internet never forgets.
you know, your butt can't shake the way it used to, you know?
Someone said, it was a podcast I was listening to for Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty was interviewing someone, and then I think this guy said, I love when you're in your prime, your lady can twerk the ass and do this and do that. But it reaches a point in life whereby she needs to twerk her brain. Now, like, babe, we're
Yeah,
stuck.
yeah.
Can you twerk your brain, please?
And you know, sometimes it's like, okay, maybe you get to your, because life happens, man. Life happens. You get to you know, your 30s and your 40s, and the weight of the things that you did,
The internet never forgets.
it never forgets. And you know what? I don't know if you've heard this phrase, but your body never forgets. Let me remember the phrase. It says, your body keeps count. It keeps count of the trauma that you went through. It keeps count of the worthless things that you did to your body. Your body will always keep count, and it has to balance. You know, it has to balance itself out. So you don't want to get to an age and things are not working the way you used to, and you're looking back and you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. So do it now. Make
Okay.
better choices now. Treat your body differently, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. This is so deep, and it's good for the people who are listening because they get to learn a lot. And it helps because you've also been in this space for a very long time. So you know what to say, you know how to say it, because it's not something you've not been through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been through all this.
Yeah.
Kuna watu najua asha ku-DM kidogo nakwambia, me, I can do this for you, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. People are going through that right now. They are pretty, but they don't know what to do with their beauty. So they think, if I allow myself to be in this space, I can get it easy. So do you think that's okay?
No. If someone wants to help you, it should never be conditional. Perhaps if I want to help you with your podcast, I don't have to come and tell you, perhaps see we go for dinner. Na kuitia dinner nini? Si uko na mtaa? Siende ukule
Kadishi
home.
mtaa.
Tutakutana kesho. If I want to help you. If I want to help you, I'll send you a contact of whoever needs to help you, or whatever I can link up. So why are you calling me for dinners? I've had very many people, very influential people, you know, not even just in Kenya, all over the world, call me
Whoa.
and be like, yeah, let's go for dinner. Let's go do what? And I'm just
How do you
like,
manage to
I'm-
say no? And
you
sometimes
just
you
say
don't
no.
you don't get tempted.
You just say no.
You don't get
Again,
tempted?
it's going back to what I was saying about the peer pressure thing, and I feel like God just put that thing really strong in me. I'm just not going to. I've said no very many times.
Wow.
Very many times.
You don't have those friends who are like, umekata kwenda hiyo.
Yeah. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I would look back and be like, guy, siningeenda.
Ningeenda.
You know, I've had those times where I'm just like, naji waste. I would have just gone for that dinner. But you realize that if someone really wants to truly help you, why can't they just call you to the office and the people that you need to be in the meeting with and just close it there? Why does it have to, mbona tunapitia makona kuja dinner then niambie niko hapa please.
Tuende hivi kwanza.
So don't fall for that prey. Don't fall for that. It's just pray. It's just pray. It's not going to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at the final segment. What's the hardest part about saying no?
The hardest part about saying no is thinking that it's probably cost you something. For example, you say no and you're like, hey, maybe I would have gotten that ka 1 million. You know what I mean? For example.
1 million ni mob. Acha tu kusema ka 1 million ni
Kwanza na hii
mob.
economy. But unajua
Ni
venye
deadly.
fruits na vegetables. And the way our children are gobbling those things up.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? But, saying no is that fear and that worry that it's cost you something, but also saying yes might actually cost you even something greater, you know? So I think that's the fear. But that's why it's also beautiful to, and for me, my life now is always just going to take it back to the Word of God. It's just also learning how to pray and ask God to help you discern better situations, because God is a God that lives and He's a God that talks and He's a God that directs,
How do you keep the discipline of praying all the time? Because I know
Hiyo
it
hiyo
needs a lot of
lazima, hiyo
discipline.
lazima tu nini
You train
ujitolee.
yourself.
You have
It's
to.
not easy.
It's not easy,
It's not easy. People just think like, she's all that and she prays.
You
and
know
it's...
what? Back in the day, I remember when I was young, my grandmother, my
You've
aunties.
put it like you're old.
I know.
Why?
We're sorry.
Hey.
When I was younger.
Umefika tu third floor.
When I was younger, na bado,
Bado?
signification, please.
Okay.
But when I was younger, I remember seeing my aunties, my grandmother, waking up at night to pray. And I'm like, simlale, why are you praying?
Simtaomba asubuhi.
Yeah, or like, why do you have to like pray like this, Hey, lo and behold, kumbe, punde si punde.
Ni wewe ndo huyo.
Tracy alishafika huko kwa kuamuka. You know what I mean? But I say that to say that this journey of life is not, you can't do it by yourself. You need God, So even in those moments where you're not sure if I should say no or should say yes, pray. And don't be hasteful about things. I think we really rush to things very quickly.
People think right now, right? I know someone listening to this.
You want to rush to something and you're like, because I'm going to miss it. No. Seek the face of the Lord first,
How do you manage? Because I'm sure now, to just make things clear, people now think, sasa mimi Tracy akona gari, maybe akona nyumba fiti, akona mtoi, akona the best husband. Why is she praying? Why does she keep on praying?
Because you realize that life, and especially the way life is going now, anything can happen. And if you're not covered under the Lord's wings, anything can happen. It can happen to you, it can happen to your children, it can happen to your partner, it can happen to the people that you love. So it's so important that you walk in God's comfort. And honestly, there's so much joy and peace. Me, that's why unaweza nikosa TikTok. Na hata sisikie anything.
Na hata ikushtui.
Hata inishtui. That's how, like, for example, I can go for a long time without maybe a gig and not question myself. And
You're okay.
And I'm like, God's got me. If I need to be somewhere, I know I'll be there, So there's just a lot of peace. So seek the face of the Lord. I mean...
Mse amekosa gig, amekuwa depressed. Mi niko na numbers mingi.
No,
why are these people getting endorsed? Why am I not?
Not me, no.
You get?
No. God is good, and his word says he will never leave us or forsake us. So it's very important that you stay in that God. The problem is we want the benefits of God without the sacrifice of being in the Lord.
Wow.
So we want him to bless us with a car. We want him to give us whatever. Sasa wewe mwenyewe umesema wewe huwezi fanya kazi mingi na msee afanyi kazi yake. Exactly. So why do we expect the Lord to give us all these things? I want a big house, big car, but you're doing the bare minimum. Christians, we need to rise and do our job. We need to.
We are very ungrateful children.
Just doing the bare minimum. Umeamka umesema, God, thanks. Aki be with me today. Na ushaishia. Umeshaishia.
Umepewa lollipop, it's still in your mouth and you're asking for crisps.
You know what I mean? So it's
Like,
very,
no, more crisps. But then
yeah,
you just a
yeah,
spoiled little thing.
yeah. We're really spoiled, you know. And honestly,
Then
God,
you're
thank
crying
you.
for it.
Yeah,
But then I'm trying to picture that,
yeah.
like,
We're those toddlers that we like to spank. We're those toddlers.
Sindio, like
Yeah,
in the Facebook, that's what we
yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah.
And you
We
find
really
us in
do.
church crying with those lollipops in our mouths and like, hey,
Yes,
why are you
you're
not giving
crying,
us
but you're
crisps?
not doing you're not
I understand.
doing what you ought to do.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with the people around you? How are you carrying yourself? You know, are you carrying the glory and the honor of the Lord? Like, there's just a lot of things that we need to do. And I'm not saying this because I'm perfect.
No one
Hey,
is.
I'm walking this walk. And this
Yes.
walk is difficult. This walk of salvation is difficult. However, you realize that it's the best place to be. Me, honestly, I say, thank God. I love it here. I love it here because if I was not in the arms of the Lord, yeah, ningekuwa nimepotea. Yeah.
Ha. What is it like being beautiful in the industry?
I will say it's like a soft privilege with a heavy tax. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you're doing it feels great because I mean, let's not act like there's no pretty privilege. There is,
A lot.
You do
Lots of
get
it.
opportunities. That is very true. However, now the heavy tax, bado pia iko,
Lazima ulipia.
Yeah, it's the comments. It's the you have to prove yourself 10 times more.
How do you answer those negative comments? Those
Nowadays, I don't.
sexy,
Those ones I do. I don't. Nowadays, I don't.
just comment.
I don't
and
try
then
to rationalize it. I don't try to comment about it. I'm just me. I'm just gonna be me. If I've been called to do the work that I need to do, I'm gonna show up, look good, and do my part, and that's it. Now the rest, niwe tu tena tu kujipangia mtaani.
Okay, the last thing. What you could have told the younger Tracy.
What I would have told the younger Tracy is,
Ule alikuwa tu club sasa yuko tu.
yes, do not find your identity in what other people say about you, because I feel like that happened a lot in my life, where I would, sort of feel that I should be a certain kind of way because other people are saying that that's how I should be. So do not find your identity in what other people say, but find your identity in Christ. Another thing that I would tell my younger self is that watu wataongea
It's normal. People
na
have to
kisha
speak.
watalala. That song, hiyo song ya bongo, si ilikuwa ya kitambo?
TID.
Ilikuwa ya TID. Ilikuwa inaendaje?
Nilikataa, sasa
Si
nimekubali.
hiyo sasa nimekubali.
Nio.
Ile ya watasema kisha watalala.
Oh,
Anyway.
watasema mchana usiku watalala. Something of the
Yeah.
sort. But it was for TID, still the same person.
Yeah, I also
Still
feel
the
like it
same
was
person.
TIDs, yeah.
It is
But
TID.
imagine
So-
they'll talk and they'll still sleep. And yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. People will talk when you're doing good, when you're doing bad, when they feel like you're not doing anything, people will talk. That's just the nature of people. So do your thing. Do what you want to do in the best way that you want to do it. And believe in yourself. Believe in yourself wholeheartedly. Believe in yourself.
That's powerful. So we normally, because it's a mental health space whereby people with a lot of knowledge in the industry, we'd love to see them in the space that you're in so that they can be able to educate more people, because there's about education, it's about
Yeah, it's very
trying
important.
to balance these people's feelings so that they see. Unajua Tracy kwa ile aliongea unajua alisema you understand, so because tunapenda udaku, so we're giving the positive udaku when they actually share this and they actually see that, oh, Tracy also goes to the market, okay, oh, na alikuwa anapenda reggae, so mi ni mdem naweza penda reggae, you understand. Someone is like, I'm pretty, they cannot find me listening to reggae, wataniona ndio
Even me, I went through
watanibeba,
that.
you understand.
Yeah.
So let them we've let them know that it's okay. I also used to love
Be
this.
you, be you.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
So I'd ask you this so that you also help us to get a person that you would love to see on that seat. The same way Mato was like, I'd love to see Tracy on this seat. I'm like, now you get us Tracy. Understand?
Who would I love to
See in that seat. And also
Seat.
help us get that person on that same seat so that they come and actually share their powerful experience in that space.
I will say I would love to hear Julie Gishuru's story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Person who's close to you?
No, she's not close to me. I think
Okay.
it's more of I really admire her trajectory,
Okay.
just the transitions in her life.
Okay.
Uh, it's very amazing to see someone be that consistent for that long.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it will be a really good, and I feel also very inspiring for us to learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think of anyone else. Who else?
Male?
Male, I would say male. Who would I like to see here? Acha tufikirie.
Tunafikiria kamera zikiroll.
By the time tumefika mwisho, tumeshafika mwisho. Okay. Who would I love to see? Who would I love to see here? I would like to see Njugush.
Njugush.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Njugush specifically? Because you smiled.
Yeah, I love Njugush a
Okay.
lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very humble man,
Okay.
very true to himself,
Mm-hmm.
very true to his quirkiness, you know, his craziness.
It's
Very
called
true.
loving yourself.
Yes, I truly admire Njugush. And if you know him at a personal level, he's a very genuine person. I really like him. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those two.
We're in a movie together, so yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I
So, lastly, who's your role model as we close?
my role model, to have a role model,
This is where we say it's okay not to have a role model.
yeah, I don't. Okay, right now,
Okay.
honestly, I wouldn't say that I have a specific person because
You look up to lots of
okay,
people.
I look up to. I really like Pastor Stephanie Ike. I love how she carries herself. You know, I feel like her story is very relatable because even for me, you know, I was back there in the club, you know, and just, I mean, I feel like our journeys are very the same, and just to see how she's boldly standing up for Christ, standing up for the Christian faith, I think it's very, very beautiful. So I really do love Stephanie Ike. I feel, again, the reason why it was really hard for me to find role models is because I'm reading a lot of the Bible, so I'm learning so many different things from a lot of the characters in the Bible. Despite what we may think, you know, the Bible is very outdated. Why would his story be very relevant to my life? But I'm learning that the Bible is living word. There's a lot of truth and a lot of relatability. So I'm learning from very many different figures in the Bible. I'm learning a lot from David. I'm learning a lot from Queen Esther, Ruth, you know, just very many different figures in the Bible. I'm learning things from them and seeing, you know, the mistakes that they made. How did they get back up? So yeah. Yeah, and if you hear my tummy grumbling, take a kula asubuhi. Nasikia tu
Hata mimi ni sawa tu. Tuko same. So I love the fact that you look up to so many people because they end up building a stronger version of you
Yes.
as Tracy. And I love people also to just not follow one person because a person can't be perfect because they have the
Yeah.
negative side and their positive side. So learn a little bit from this and that and that person and that person and that person,
Yeah.
and that builds up who you are, and it
Yes.
actually makes you become the stronger version of yourself.
Yes.
So this is the iconic space whereby we don't give you solution, we just have conversations that are able to heal you in the space that you're in, are able to just give you an idea on how you're going to be able to navigate through your feelings, life, and hearing our stories and how we speak about things, they might be
Yeah.
able to get you out of that space that you feel like,
Yes.
I'm depressed, I need to show off, I need to do this. No,
You
you can
don't.
be yourself.
Yeah.
You can do what you need to do. And this has been one of the coolest
Really?
conversations I've had because we've
You know, I want to interject because you know when you're talking about, when you're giving the outro, one of the things that I wanted to give people the story, not the story in entirety, but if you look at the Old Testament, you know, you look at the children of God when they were being taken from Israel and from Egypt to Israel, and then when they settled in Israel, they had a lot of battles, you know.
Okay.
But you realize that in most of the things that they did, by the way, ukianza kusoma huko kutoka akina Joshua, do you know the Israelites most of the times did not do anything.
Oh, okay.
Most of the times the Lord would show up and do things. What do you mean you're going to mtazunguka ati a wall 7 times and you defeat your enemies? That's the God that we serve, you know. He's a God that is okay with you just being. You do not have to show off. You do not have to do X and X and X to feel loved, to feel worthy, to feel validated. It's you in just being a child of God, you know? So that's why I'm so adamant about people finding themselves in Christ, because for me, I know the battle that I'm facing every single day to find that Tracy, to find that voice, you know? So even for you, maybe you don't need to do all those things. Just be still. The word of God says, be still and know that He is God. So you just be still in the person that you are, you know, and know that God is God. And He'll move you where you need to be. In the book of Psalms, it talks about, let your word be a light, a lamp on my feet, and a light to my path. You know, so it just means exactly that. Let Him guide you, because you will be in even bigger and better places with you just being a child of God, doing what a child of God does. Sorry, the last Bible verse, msichoke tafadhali.
No,
The
lazima
last one,
kusikize.
it talks about, I believe, I don't know if it's in Matthew. It's one of the first books of the New Testament. It talks about how if an earthly father, if the son can ask for bread, haizi mpatia stone, and if the son asks for fish, will the father give him a snake? No. So how much more will your earthly father will your heavenly father do for you? And if you think about, even you're a father, your child by day doesn't need to come there and do sijui aerobics, gymnastics, ati ndio mnunulie gari. Them just being my son, my child.
That's
Baby,
enough.
imagine that's just enough. And I will make sure that you go to the best schools. You do what? You just being my child. How much more will the Lord do for us? You know? So you just be His child. Walk in His ways. Strive every other day to do the right thing. You can't be perfect. We fall every other time. I'll be very, very vulnerable. Jana usiku nimesikiza Chris Brown nyimbo tu moja ili trigger a whole playlist. I'm like, nyimbo moja nimefikaje hapa? You know what I mean?
How did we get here?
How did we get here? You know, that's why social media sometimes I'm just like, ah. But yes, you're not going to be perfect, but you strive. You strive, you strive. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like that's just my encouraging and my last words. I feel like I've said a lot. Can I also loop in something that I'm doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, lastly, because I know, hey, today I've yapped. Do
It's
you know?
good.
It's because I never yap.
Ah.
I don't have people to yap with.
Thank you. Welcome to the
So sasa
space where we
nimekuja
yap.
hapa nimeyap. Anyway, my last yappery is that so because of the things that I'm learning in my walk with Christ, I started a platform called Faith Walks, and Faith Walks is a dedicated platform that wants to help people find God, you know, and to deepen their relationship with God. So we do this through very many different tools, but the first tool that I wanted to start with is a journal. And the journal is a Bible study and a prayer journal. So it's divided into two. So the Bible study journal is, and even earlier on you asked, how am I able to do this? So one of that's why I started with the Bible and prayer journal, because I want people to read their Bible every day. You know how we used to sing, read your Bible, pray every day if you want to grow. Maybe that was not cap. If you thought that was cap, I'm here to tell you it wasn't. So the journal helps you to, you know, read your Bible every day. And it's something that you have to learn to just do every day. It's not easy, but you have to learn to do it every single day. So you do your Bible study. And the second part is I called it Conversations with My Father, because very many times I sit down and I have a question and I'm like, God, why did this happen? Why is this happening? You know, and I write it down. And the reason why I write it down is because, like I said, God answers prayers. The other day, I don't know if you've ever heard this story in the Bible. There's a part in the Bible where after God called Moses, akamwambia, enda Egypt. You remember he was in Midian. he was told to go to Egypt. So of course he took his wife and everyone, and I'm sure they were all just like, now ini story gani. So when they were on their way to go to Egypt, God wanted to kill Moses. And when I read that verse, I was like, see, you just called this dude to go and do that.
Yes.
What do you mean you're killing him? And by that Bible verse, you can tell kulikuwa na God was actually going to kill this man. But what did Zipporah do? Zipporah, who was Moses' wife, took, I think, a stone or something and cut the foreskin of his son. And that's the reason why God wanted to kill him, because it's like, you can't go to now this guy's to save them and your house is not in order, you know?
Take care of your house.
Take care of your house first before you go to my people.
Okay.
And I remember when I used to ask myself, hey, that's by the hiyo kitu ilikuwa imenisumbua akili. I'm just like, hey, God, this math is just not mathing. But I say the story to say that God has answered that prayer. Now I know why. You know, he did that. So that's why the second part of the journal is the prayer journal. Ask him all those questions. Muulize. See, he said we ask him. He will answer. God, why do I feel like this? Why am I struggling with this? God, why, blah, blah, blah. All those questions that you have, ask. God answers. God answers. Let me tell you, God answers prayers, and I've seen it. So that's Faith Walks. And I hope it's going to transform.
It will.
I hope it will transform.
This whole show
people's
is
life.
about transformation.
Yes.
It's about healing people. So
Exactly.
that part is definitely
Yes.
very important to a lot of people who follow you. A lot of people who just see the glam and they don't know what's going on.
Yes.
Just pray, yo. Prayers.
Yes. Baby,
So-
hakunanga nini ingine.
So because actually this is one of the longest shows we've ever had.
I'm sorry.
Yes, because we are two media personalities and we can talk until tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the yapping.
Yes, so can
I'm
you kindly
sorry.
give us the outro, please? Because now,
Yeah.
clearly,
Oh my God,
Finish.
now you put me in
Give
the,
us
in the
the
spot. I'm
outro,
just going to
yes.
keep it very simple. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, MC Paps, for having me. It was truly a pleasure to come and yap on the show.
okay.
I really enjoyed it. And I hope the yappery is going to transform your life. It's very... The yapping doesn't make sense if it doesn't cause impact. So
Okay.
thank you so much for being part of the show. Big shout out to Joam Coffee for also just partnering with the show.
Okay.
So get ready. It's going to be a really fun ride.
People
And
think mental health is all.
no. It's going to be a fun ride, and we welcome you to the iconic space. It's going to be a fantastic ride. So bye, na mnunue kitabu. But thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.